Texas Tech is on bye this week, and what better time to look at the stats for Jacob Rodriguez and determine, is he really deserving of being a Heisman finalist? In today's video, we'll look at the stats, the PFF grades, how he compares to the last linebacker that was a Heisman finalist, and why at the end of the day, this isn't just Texas Tech PR. J-Rod deserves to be in New York. Let's discuss. Hey, how's it going, everybody? It's RC Maxfield here for the Red and Black Report. Appreciate y'all tuning in to today's video. And I typically don't make videos like this. If I'm being honest, typically I try and, keep y'all up to date with the latest news. Obviously, I have my opinion involved in a lot of those videos. But this one was more of a, does Jacob Rodriguez actually deserve to be there in terms of a Heisman finalist? Okay, I kind of wanted to take the scarlet and black glasses off and look a little bit deeper into some of the numbers that I think would dictate a linebacker deserving to be in New York as at least a finalist for the Heisman Trophy. But before I get into the research that I have done, I want to hear from you guys. Just let me know down on the pinned comment below, should Jacob Rodriguez be a Heisman finalist? Just a simple Y for yes, in for no. Let me know down on the pinned comment below if Jacob Rodriguez should at least be a Heisman finalist. Simple Y for yes or in for no. All right, let's look at the stats and start with this. Obviously, head on over to Scarlet and Black Insider. We're discussing Jacob Rodriguez Heisman's candidacy, what feels like every other minute. And it's, the fastest growing Texas Tech community as well. But these are his updated stats after, the UCF game on Senior Day, where the Red Raiders secured a 7-0 record at home. Jacob Rodriguez, this is his Heisman resume. 97 tackles, 54 solos, 7 forced fumbles, 6 pass deflections, 2 fumble recoveries, 4 interceptions, 1 rushing TD, 1 defensive TD. Okay? Pretty damn good. I know what some people are going to say, though, that see the title of this video and think to themselves, oh, well, his stats were better last year. How is he, more deserving this year? Because he's on a better team and there's more notoriety in each and every game. The Red Raiders are getting everyone's best shot in the Big 12. They are every team's Super Bowl this year. That is not a hyperbole. I mean, look what Arizona State did. You had Sam Leavitt and Jordan Tyson playing that game, and they haven't played since. Okay, now a lot of that is due to injury, but they came back because they knew if they wanted a chance at the Big 12 title to, go back there again, the Sun Devils were going to have to beat the Red Raiders, and they did that. Congratulations to them. That being said, Jacob Rodriguez has been a bona fide superstar regardless of the game. Texas Tech has won every game this season that they have won, all 10 of them by a minimum of 3 possessions. Okay, this team is dominant in each and every way. And why are they dominant? Because of the Texas Tech defense. The Red Raiders have the #1 rushing defense in the country, a top 5 overall defense in a multitude of categories, including yards given up per game. This Texas Tech defense is elite in every sense of the word. And who is it led by? Jacob Rodriguez. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, this is coming from a guy that's wearing a Texas Tech hat. I understand. You can call me biased if you want. I really don't give a damn. Those stats are pretty good, though. And how about we get into some of the metrics that probably matter the most to, the voters when it comes down to it. What I'm about to show you, I understand not everybody's going to agree with. That's totally fine, but I'll put it on my screen anyway for you. This is the linebacker metrics in terms of the grades for Pro Football Focus. I understand not everybody loves Pro Football Focus. I don't even love them all the way, but I do like them in terms of certain position groups graded out. I like them at the linebacker spot. I like them at the defensive line spot, and I like them on the offensive line. Every other position, I'm kind of like, okay, whatever. But I think they do a pretty solid job with those front 7 defensively, and then on the, 5 on the offensive lines for each and every team in the country. Why am I bringing this up, though? Jacob Rodriguez grades out as the #1 linebacker in the country with an overall grade this year of 93.8. Now, you may be thinking to yourself, that's pretty damn good, RC, but he can't be the #1 player in the country when it comes down to it. Oh, he can. He is the highest graded player on PFF right now, headed into Texas Tech's second bye. Not going to change this week. I can tell you that. He is the most impactful defender in the country Full stop. The second most impactful defender in the country may be his teammate, David Bailey. He's that good because if J-Rod doesn't deserve to be in New York, according to some of y'all, David Bailey sure as hell does because he leads the country in sacks. He will continue to be in the top 5 for the remainder of the season. And Jacob Rodriguez helps really open things up for David Bailey. And this is a guy in Jacob Rodriguez where I talked about Rob Burrow's great tweet. And I need to get it on the screen because I didn't give Rob the proper credit of putting his handle on the screen last time I discussed it. Total turnovers forced in 2025. I'm not very good at reading. I'm also not very good at math. And as you can tell, I did not do well in English with how bad that sentence was structured. That being said, I can do simple math, okay? Cincinnati has forced 9 turnovers this year. Arizona State has forced 11. Ohio State, 11. Jacob Rodriguez, as an solo individual, has forced 11 turnovers. He has forced the same amount of turnovers as the number 1 overall team in the country in the Ohio State Buckeyes, a team that, much like Texas Tech, is led by their defense, and the best defensive player, regardless of whether they are wearing the scarlet and gray or the scarlet and black, is Jacob Rodriguez. And yes, I do understand that Caleb Downs is on that Ohio State Buckeye defense. I do understand that Arvell Reese, probably going to be a top 5 pick in the NFL draft, is on that Ohio State defense. That being said, if you look at the metrics that matter, Jacob Rodriguez is the most impactful player on the defensive side of the football in college football this season. Now, what do we know about the Heisman Trophy? We know this, okay? It's an offensive award. Let's just be honest about it. If you're a quarterback, you're going to win it 9 times out of 10. And truth be told, I expect a quarterback to win it this year, whether it's Fernando Mendoza, Ty Simpson, or maybe even Marcel Reed. I don't know, but I do expect a quarterback to win it. Probably going to end up being Mendoza. That being said, I am not saying Jacob Rodriguez should win the Heisman. I do think he should be in the conversation, however, and I do think he should be on the PJ, aka the private jet, for hopefully Cody Campbell. Hopefully it's a nice one for Jacob when he makes this trip up north to NYC for the ceremony because he deserves to be one of the finalists, okay? In fact, when was the last time a linebacker was a Heisman finalist? Well, I'm glad you asked because shout out to the Gambling Gauchos again on this one. They've got the latest stats. Here we go. Let's run it up. Manti Te'o's first 11 games during his Heisman runner-up campaign versus Jacob Rodriguez through the first 11 games of 2025. Jacob Rodriguez should be a Heisman finalist this season. I do tend to agree. You see it right there. This is the totality of his season, okay, for Manti Te'o. About 13 years ago, quick math by me, that's good stuff. 98 tackles, 5.5 tackles for loss, 1.5 sacks, 6 interceptions, 0 forced fumbles, 1 fumble recovery, 0 touchdowns. We proceed to the right side of your screen and see where Jacob Rodriguez stands in terms of the same stats that Manti Te'o, again, had a runner-up finish for the 2012 Heisman Trophy. Jacob Rodriguez clears and tackles for loss. Basically the same sacks. Has 2 less interceptions, albeit with 1 game remaining. Clears and forced fumbles, creating 7. Texas Tech has also, recovered a majority of those. He also has 2 fumble recoveries and 2 touchdowns. He clears Manti Te'o. When it comes to the actual resume of going to New York and being a Heisman finalist, I don't understand the outside perspective of, oh, this is just Texas Tech fans boosting up, their favorite player because it's the best season in program history, or at least one of them. No, it's just we have eyes. And we're just happy that we get to watch him every Saturday be the best defensive player in college football. That's what we see. We see a guy that can single-handedly turn the game around and just win it for you or give no hope to the opposing offense. We've seen it before, and he will continue to do it for the Red Raiders this season. He is a guy that every team on the opposite sideline has to account for every single snap. And yes, there are a multitude of players on this Texas Tech defense that opposing offenses have to account for. I've already mentioned David Bailey. Romello Height is in there. Bryce Pollock, Lee Hunter. This defense is loaded. But isn't Ohio State's defense loaded? Isn't other defenses where great players are on? Ruben Bain, Miami's defense is loaded, right? And he's up there. Typically, good teams have loaded rosters in college football. This isn't rocket science. It's the guys who pop on tape and make the most impact when it comes to winning a football game. And Jacob Rodriguez defensively does that better than any other player in the country, full stop. That's the truth. Okay. Just turn on the film and watch it. This isn't one of those deals where it's like, again, Texas Tech just boosting up one of their players. No, we're trying to get him this exposure because, damn it, he deserves it. And Joey McGuire implemented once again, maybe my favorite package, immunity. No pause necessary for that, by the way. The stash package. Unbelievable name, whoever named that. Let's look at the Heisman odds, though, okay? Because this is interesting. This is from DraftKings. You can see him on your screen right now. Fernando Mendoza, he's the favorite. No surprise there. I think he's going to win the Heisman. He's very deserving in terms of this season. That being said, all of these quarterbacks have less than stellar stats when it comes to what we know as the general public as Heisman winning stats for a quarterback. No disrespect to these guys. They're super talented. I like Julian Sayin. I like Fernando Mendoza. Diego Pavia, hell of a player at Vanderbilt, and so is Marcel Reed down at Texas A&M. And yes, I did just throw up in my mouth saying that. That being said, Jacob Rodriguez deserves to be in the top 5 here. I don't understand the difference in why we have a guy in, like Diego Pavia. Why is Jacob Rodriguez not in that type of conversation? It's no disrespect to Diego Pavia. I understand he should be up there, but so should Jacob Rodriguez. He is the best defender in college football, full stop. Most impactful as well, okay? Does that mean he's going to be the best pro? No, I don't think anybody's saying that. That being said, he deserves to be in New York because he is the best defensive player in college football. Full stop. And if the Heisman Trophy is about honoring the best player in college football, they should have the best players there. And Jacob Rodriguez is easily one of the top 5 players in all of college football and deserves to be a finalist for the Heisman Trophy. All right, that's going to do it for today's video. If you haven't already, let me know, should Jacob Rodriguez at least be a Heisman finalist? Just a Y for yes or in for no. I'm not saying he's going to win it because I just don't think he is. It's a quarterback award. That being said, I do think I would type Y down in the comments for yes, as he should be a Heisman finalist. That's my thoughts. Let me know yours down in the comments below. All right, that's going to do it for today's video. Appreciate y'all tuning in. As always, if you haven't already, be sure to like the video, hit that subscribe button, and while you're at it, hit that notification bell to be instantly notified of when we drop a video here on the channel. It's becoming that time of the year where Texas Tech football is starting to get into playoff mode. Texas Tech men's basketball has a loaded non-con slate before starting Big 12 play when the calendar turns to 2026. What better place to be than right here on the Red and Black Report for 100% free Texas Tech content all year long. All right, I'm RC Maxfield reminding you, as always, stay safe and Recom Tech.